Right, good afternoon, everybody. Today I'd like to introduce you to Dawn Wills. Dawn is from Decisions Marketing based in Welling. Now, Dawn, I've known you for a great number of years, 14 in fact,
That's right. That's right.
and you're a marketing consultant as well as a fitness instructor.
Yes.
So you've always been in marketing for many, many years, 26 years now. So tell me a little bit about how you got into marketing in the first place.
Well, originally I had a job in marketing for a large corporate, and I spent time in all of the major departments. And they said, "This is great. We're really pleased with what you're doing. We want to give you a wonderful job, but you're going to have to move to Leicester." And at the time, I just bought my first flat, and I was really excited about where I was living. And I thought, I don't want to go to Leicester. So I took the opportunity to take voluntary redundancy. And I thought, well, in theory, if I'm in marketing, I can market anything. So I'll start working for myself in marketing. So that's what I did. And I was very optimistic about how quickly the money would come in from that. And I really thought that the business would start turning a profit after about 6 months. And of course, it didn't. It took longer than that. But I had this new flat and new mortgage and needed to pay it. So I was already a qualified fitness instructor because I got injured going to bad quality classes. So I was already teaching a few classes. So that was my quickest way to earn enough money in those days. And I love it. I absolutely love it. And I started increasing the classes. I've been lucky to have that balance all the way through. I ran a gym for 12 years, an exercise studio for a year.
Wow.
And now I still teach 3 classes a week. I've just found that the marketing hours have stretched and stretched and stretched, and it was harder and harder to juggle it. But just doing the 3 classes a week means that I get to see the gang. We're a really tight gang that go to the class. And it means that it's a nice stress release for me. I think I'm very, very lucky to have the balance. So I've always
Yeah.
tried to maintain that.
I was going to say it would have been a great stress reliever, especially at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, each time I drive along to the class thinking, oh, but I wanted to finish that report, or I just wanted to do this or that. And then I get there and you start jumping about and having a laugh with everybody that's there. And then you leave and you think, oh, that's fine. I can do that tomorrow morning. That's no problem. And it is, you do feel so much better. Yeah.
Yeah, and fresh eyes as well.
Hmm.
So with your company, Decisions Marketing, then, um, clearly you can, you look at strategy and business plans and all sorts of traditional marketing, but you can implement it as well. So you look at the overall thing.
Yeah, absolutely. There's the raw ingredients, if you like, are the same for each business. So whether you are business to business, working with the public, whether you're service or product orientated, your raw ingredients are the same and they form the basis of your plan. But because everybody is different and every business is unique, what actually comes to life is going to be different in every case. So we put the plan together, and sometimes that is a formal marketing strategy and it's a written document. And if people don't want to go down that route, that's absolutely fine. And it turns into a conversation just to make sure we have put all those key ingredients in place to make sure that their marketing is going to be as effective as possible. And then from that, once we know who people want to talk to, what they need to say to those people, and the best way to get that message across to those people, then we help to bring it to life. That's my favourite bit, actually, if I'm honest, just rolling up my sleeves and actually bringing it to life and making a positive difference to the business that I'm working with. Actually
Yeah.
seeing them get the benefits and seeing them, their confidence and their pride increase in their marketing as well is fabulous.
So a few years ago, you said you retrained. Tell me a bit more about that.
I did, yes, because when I first took my marketing qualifications, we're going back 35 years, something like that. And obviously been trading for 26 years as decisions marketing. So the digital things weren't there in my initial training and obviously are very, very important to the market, especially now. And at the point in time where digital was really coming through, I had 5 freelancers and 2 part-time employees working with me. And the part-time employees were doing appointment setting, so cold calling. but the other 5 were all doing digital work. So I was outsourcing everything. And the girl said to me, "Oh, Dawn, you can do this. Why aren't you doing this?" And I thought, well, if I just self-teach from the internet, which we can all do, what extra strength am I adding to clients? So I went back and redid my marketing qualifications, because there's now a digital version of those. So I went and did the digital version. And I'm really, really pleased that I did, because it gave me the confidence to know that I was adding value to clients. And now I would say probably about 80% of what I do is online. So everything,
Really?
social media, making sure that websites and online presence are Google friendly, looking at content on website, because it's one thing to get people there, but once they're there, what do you want them to do? How do you want them to react when they've seen your website? So it's making sure that you can secure those visits, but then actually get conversion from it as well.
So do you sorry, do you think then, you said that 80% of your work is digital, so the other 20%, is that things like printed, is there still place for printed materials?
There is, yes, there is still a place. It has gone down a bit. I found that when GDPR, which was about the privacy rules, particularly for emails, when that came through, then printing had a bit of a resurgence, because people could still post. And so I found that has come up a little bit. People still like to have a leaflet or a brochure. It has decreased, true. But things like the roller banner, like you have behind you, that sort of thing, people do. And things like press releases. Press releases are really big still, even though they may be going through onto online versions of titles, that there's still printed ones as well. We use the local papers a lot, and the printed versions get just as good a response as the digital version of the paper.
Actually, they're talking about that, the papers are struggling at the moment, aren't they, with I suppose not lack of news, because there's lots of news, but currently I suppose with people just reopening, lots of people haven't been advertising, so it's hit them hard, I would imagine.
Yeah, they've run a lot of offers. Yeah, there's
good time to get in now then. Yeah. So what's your kind of ideal audience? Who would be, you would love to work with, really?
It's a really good question. It's one that I always ask other people when I'm working with them, so I thought I should know this. And it's basically, there's 3 groups, if you like. There's firstly people who are really, really keen to grow their business. And it can be any size of business as well. It can be anything from a one-person band right up to, I've worked with people like Rolls-Royce. So it can be very small or very big, but it's people who want to grow their business. It's also people who want to refine their business. Maybe they're okay with their business levels as they are, but they particularly want to concentrate on work that they either enjoy doing or is more profitable or they see has more longevity. So perhaps when we rely on referrals, it's great because we can get business, but we get the business that comes to us, which isn't always the type of business that we would have targeted. So by refining the client base that they have, we can make sure that work that's coming through is in tune with where they want to go as a business. And also people who want to make the most of their existing contacts are unsure how to do that. So particularly with GDPR, who can we contact for marketing purposes? When is it legal to email people particularly? Things like that. So it's about giving people an opportunity to grow, an opportunity to refine their business, or maybe people just want to have a little bit more confidence in what they're doing with their marketing. One of the things that we do, we've talked about plans and we've talked about getting involved, rolling our sleeves up and getting involved. But there's also people that just want to have a bit of direction and just want to have a bit of confidence, and then they're happy to go and do it. And, in a lot of cases, particularly things like social media, I think it does get more traction when it's the person that the customers know who are delivering those posts. So we might give advice on the type of content, on which social media platforms are best. We can research the best hashtags to use. Don't get me started on the number of hashtags that people use and when they make them up. But that sort of thing we can give advice on. So it could be a one-off session just to make sure that people feel confident they're going in the right direction.
I think one of the things I like about how you offer is that you can do half day or day packages as well, and people don't have to take those all at one time. So for me, it works really well in my business because I might have a specific project at a certain time of year that I want to do, but for others, you know, they might use the whole time in one fell swoop. So there's the flexibility there.
Definitely, yeah. It's a really good point, because we usually say a day is 7 hours, and 9 times out of 10 that's used within, say, 3 months. But sometimes it can be used within a month, and sometimes it takes a year. And the bottom line is, I want to make sure that that time is going to offer the best value and make the most difference to the business. So therefore, it should be used at the time that's right for the business, rather than just for the sake of it to keep that momentum going.
Yeah,
yeah. It has to be flexible. It has to be.
Now, I've known you for 14 years, Dawn, because we joined Women in Business at the same time.
Yeah, didn't we? It was Hitchin, wasn't it?
In Hitchin, 14 years ago. You have got to be the longest, well, you are in my network, you are the longest standing member of any of my WIBN groups. So 14 years, well done.
Well, thank you. I have to say, I've really enjoyed it. It doesn't feel like 14 years.
We don't look a day older, do we?
No, and I have to say, it still works as well. And I'm in touch with people that I've met through WIBN who either are not running their own businesses now, or they're just not members now, but we're still in touch. And so it's nice to have friends that have come out of it, as well as the work as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And you were in the Hitchin group for, I think it was 12 years, you know, which is a long time. And then a couple of years ago moved over to the Stevenage group. But you're actually based in Welling, so it really doesn't matter, you know, which groups you're in now. And obviously we're currently virtual, so it doesn't matter where you are at the moment. But it's good to network, and it's been great getting to know you over those 14 years, Dawn.
Thank you. And I also found I don't particularly always like working on my doorstep, because then you're going to see people down the pub when perhaps you might not want them to sit.
Yeah, work, pleasure.
Exactly. It's bad enough that people judge me if I'm having a drink and they know me from Keep Fit as well. So,
oh dear, that's so funny.
It was really nice, and I loved it at Hitchin. Nothing wrong with Hitchin at all. Really enjoyed it. Lovely people, but it was good for me to have a change and some fresh energy. So,
yeah, that's brilliant.
A lovely group.
So how can people get hold of you, Dawn?
Well, the best thing to do is to drop me an email, which is dawn@decisionsmarketing.co.uk, or give me a buzz. And my mobile's 07711 067 587. So either of those are great, and I'll be able to get straight back to you.
Oh, that's brilliant. It's been lovely talking to you, and here's to another 14 years.
Thanks,
Dawn.
Thanks so much, Louise. Thank you.